I moved to London 25 years ago in 2000, and I knew that I was going to drama school, which was my lifelong dream at the time. And I knew that in order to get into that school, I had some level of talent. And also you realize that you know nothing at all. You only know what you know. And so that sense of learning and growing was really key for me. I was so desperate to get there. I'd been on the countdown and I was just ready to go. However, the business side of not only being a working professional, but being a working actor, a working freelancer, a working creative, I did not know how to do any of that. And actually, if you ask any 18, 19-year-old, even into their 20s, 30s, 40s, and you're starting on that journey, there is so much to learn. And as great as books and podcasts and videos are, often you only learn those things by being on the ground and actually doing it and making the mistakes and picking yourself up again. However, what I learnt from that was what the truth of the acting industry was. And the truth of the acting industry was it was contract work. Now, at the time in 2000, the soap industry was absolutely huge. And so there might be some people who had been in that soap opera for years and years and years. But they would still sign a contract. They wouldn't just say, okay, just stay here for 30 years if you want. Everything is always negotiable. And so I learned my industry in that moment that if I was going to work in a contract-based industry, I had to understand money. I had to understand what I was going to do within contracts and also between contracts. And I made a decision for myself that I was not going to wait. And Create Your Income Pie, my online course helping you to price and package your skills, your talents, your expertise, was actually born then. Because I realized in order to make the things work, the parts of my business that I loved, I was going to have to figure out the rest. And that was such a valuable lesson. And I'm so glad that I got it early, because I never wanted to be that needy, like waiting, hoping, desperate person for the phone to ring. If you are looking at working in a different way, come and check out Create Your Income Pie, especially if you're a creative, especially if you're a freelancer, especially if you want to diversify the way you work. It's going to be great for you. And there are 3 ways to join.